The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And we are underway from Glendale. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback out of Texas A&M, and that's Ryan Tannehill.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Brown. 15 yards there on the catch and run. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. That's to the rookie tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
2nd down following the run. Here's Tannehill. Completes it to Jason Witten. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now it's Tannehill. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Now on 4th down, Bruce Arians will send out his field goal unit. And Barth puts it through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So they get the ball first here in front of the home crowd under the lights, and they get 3 points out of it.
And there's something about a night game, isn't there? A little extra snap, a little extra crisp in the air. What a terrific way to get things started. A little extra excitement, a little extra dazzle for the home crowd.
So after the made field goal, they bring out the punter's chum to send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Leading them out in his 7th year now out of Virginia Tech, Tyrod Taylor.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run again. Again, it's Powell. Room here to run. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. 56 yards. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run. This is Powell. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Akeem Hicks in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on third down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Bart puts it through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So that scores now in their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
So after the made field goal, they bring out the punter's chum to send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Let's go! Ryan 38!
They run again with Ware. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From midfield now, here's Taylor. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number. Led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had or the scheme or both or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They start the drive with a give to Powell. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They go again with Powell. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the 50, it's Tannehill. In and able to bring it in. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. To go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdown. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
Now Tannehill. Now they go screen. It's complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. To the air again, Tannehill. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. red zone now. Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So Tannehill out. And look who's going to get a shot here in relief. It's Robert Griffin III. A first throw for the backup Griffin. Dumps off to Powell. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. On third down, Griffin. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Barth puts it through. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now. Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, it's still been able to come away with points. So after the made field goal, they bring out the punter Shum to send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives. And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Second down now after the pass completion.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Phillip Wheeler coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. On second down, here's Taylor. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Come on, let's go.
Third and long, it's Taylor. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Here we go. 100.
Final play of the half, it's Taylor. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Cardinals are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Seahawks won't panic either. They know they just need to take it 1 play at a time. All right, let's roll those highlights. Now 1st and 10. Tannehill's on point with the throw, and he'll be tackled at the 36-yard line. Cardinals would go on to kick a field goal. Cardinals with the football late in the first. Powell's going to break free after a stiff arm, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 23-yard line. They would go on to kick a field goal and put 3 points on the board.
Okay, Larry, thank you. No touchdowns in our first half. What will we see in half number 2? Time to find out. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On the ground, this is Ware. He finds an opening past the 40. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Spencer Ware hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Gould now out to kick it away. To return it is Corey Grant. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. With that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They go play action here on first down. Going right side, he has Winton. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space, no gain.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This from 54 yards away. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll run now with Ware. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
From the gun on third down, it's Taylor. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They run it here. Ware. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for, because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. Big play here. 3rd down and goal from the 2. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down.
Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know, some of these coaches, they're extremely unpredictable, and they may go ahead and press it.
So on 4th down, Pete Carroll's going to call out his field goal unit. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. Remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front. But then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
This is taken at the 3. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Justin Hunter, the one he was searching for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. The bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Bilal Powell and his offensive mates retaking the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Throw left side complete. It's Hunter. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, Sutton make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
This is the running back, Powell. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Bilal Powell, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Here's the punter Shum to send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Tough to bring Bryant down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Dez Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start this with a run for Powell. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Here's Tannehill. And his throw here's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now Tannehill. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. Powell. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Jacob Shum now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And it's incomplete. It's a dangerous pass. That's what it was. And it brings up 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Taylor going to try and hurry him to the line. Now it's Taylor. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Throwing now is Taylor. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Taylor to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Spencer Ware, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Here's Taylor. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They run with Powell. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This one fielded at the 5. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time. Coaches love the rack run after catch, especially here in overtime. Took the short pass, turned it into a big play.
And that's what coaches talk about when they talk to their teams about what overtime means. How many big plays have to be made in order to win a ball game, and which play will be the big play. Short pass turned into a long run. Maybe that's the play that they needed to spring a victory.
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On the run, it's Ware. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Play action, now Taylor. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Now a handoff as they run left side. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to your football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
A fresh set of downs, and they're at the 1. 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd and goal, Taylor. And that is incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And Gold is able to put it through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. All right, so they're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now it'll be up to their defense to try and see this one out.
So remember now, a field goal on this next drive would get us to sudden death. Any kind of turnover or turnover on downs would end the game, as would any touchdown. So this one's still very much up in the air.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. A field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Completes it to Jason Witten. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a third down. The Cardinals on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw, Tannehill. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Seahawks, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.